Awesome.
All right. Welcome back, everybody, to another episode of the Lodgz Podcast. This is episode 64. So very excited to get started here. Excited about our guests we have today. Big shout out to all you guys that are tuning in on Apple, Spotify. If you're starting to watch the videos on YouTube, I hope you guys are enjoying that as well. Starting to finally get a visual element to the podcast. But today's guest is Frozone. He is a Twitch partner and Warzone content creator who I know many of you guys might be familiar with, especially if you're big into Warzone right now and you're following Warzone streamers. He's probably one you've seen. But man, officially welcome to the show.
Hey man, well, thank you for the invitation to be on the show. It's been probably like my second or third podcast, so I'm excited just to keep on doing them when I can.
Yeah, they're fun. As you can tell, I enjoy them. Episode 64
right.
here. So
that's so many episodes. I know, that's a lot of consecutive or consistent episodes. So
yeah,
good luck on that.
Well, okay, so I've started to do this thing where I've changed the format, but the new one is I like to do an icebreaker at the beginning, just something that I think is interesting my guests have done. So what I want to ask you is, you've won the MFAM Gauntlet. You won in April and you won in May. Did you win both? Or did you guys? Okay.
We won both, yes.
So talk about that, because I mean, I know those are competitive. I know those are tough, and I know they're fun. So I just want to ask about your experience, like, what they're like and how much you enjoy them and all that.
Oh, dude, it was, now that kind of set me up, and I guess me and a few others up for the whole season of Warzone.
Mm-hmm.
So we really we played in a qualifier because they had qualifiers to get into the big tournament, because the big tournament was invite only to big streamers, and other just massive people, right?
Right.
So we played in a qualifier. We did really well in the qualifier. We won the qualifier, and there's two other qualifiers. And so after those two qualifiers, or all three qualifiers, all the qualifying teams played against each other. They had 2 games to get the best or most kills, and then the winning team out of those 3 goes to the big tournament. And so we absolutely barely made it, out of those 3 teams. We beat those other ones, and then we made it to the big tournament. And then the big tournament, we did really, really well. I don't even know if it was very close. We just kind of stomped and dominated the competition, really. And so, which was awesome. It was definitely one of the best days ever, because that was a lot of money. I think we won like 6,000 or 7,000 each.
Okay.
Because I think it was trios, I think, at the time. So it's a trios tournament. And then the next month, because he was doing one every month, the next month there was another one. We're like, okay, we won. Can we get an invite? Can we just do we already get to play in finals? And that just wasn't the way it was. We were a little butthurt. We wanted to just,
right,
just be invited, but whatever. We'll just make it through qualifiers, make another, $800 each, winning the qualifier. So we won the qualifier, and then we had to switch teams because we had a 2 stacked of a team. So we ended up qualifying with somebody, and then we had to pick up somebody else for the tournament. That's when the initial first KD cap tournament was that second MFAM tournament.
Okay.
And so Nickmercs was the first person to actually do a KD cap in terms of everybody added up into the tournament or on your team.
Right.
And so, we may have been the starters of the KD cap. I don't know.
You guys forced it, basically.
We forced it, yeah. So, I mean, we barely won that tournament as well, but be able to win the first one, actually go through 2 qualifiers to win the first one, not get invited to the second one, win the qualifier in the second one, and then go all the way through and win it again in an RNG-based video game against all these other amazing players and content creators and streamers, whatever. It was, I don't know, it was awesome. It was
I bet
the best 2 months I've ever had, and doing really well in those tournaments off the start just set us up for the whole rest of the season, because everybody saw our names.
Right. Yeah, because that was pretty much, I mean, Warzone launched, it was the beginning of this year? Or was that?
Yes. It was right when the COVID stuff started.
Right when COVID hit.
Was that May or something?
Yeah. So you guys got in on a big tournament right at the beginning. Like you're saying, that kind of, a lot of people saw you guys because of that. No, that's really cool.
Yep.
So you guys didn't get the invite for the second one. They were we're going to let you guys cool off.
Dude, I was kind of I'm like, dude, come on. We just won your last tournament. We don't get invited to this one. I'm like, all right, fine. I just try to look at it okay, whatever. Because the qualifiers, if you won, you made $800 each or something like that too. So fine. I guess we'll just win these qualifiers again. Make an extra $800 each or something, and then just go to the big tournament.
Go to the big one. That's awesome. That's awesome. No, that's really
Mm-hmm.
cool. No, I know those are super competitive. I watched those, and I thought that was really awesome. So I thought I'd ask you about it. But to kick it back, and for people that maybe are listening and maybe they don't watch Warzone that much, or they're familiar with getting to know you, I thought it'd be fun to just kick it back to the beginning and let you share a little bit about yourself, kind of like where you grew up, how relevant was gaming for you growing up? When did you get into streaming? Just like a couple of minutes to share your background story, kind of, to where you've gotten right now.
Sure. I mean, I've been gaming, dude. I've been gaming forever. Like, I remember spending the most amount of my time playing either RuneScape
Mm-hmm.
or Diablo 2. Like, Diablo 2 is hands down my favorite video game of all time. I just remember it's way easier back then doing like, sleeping or playing video games through the night and just not going to sleep. I wish I could do it as much as I used to, but I just can't now. I think it just comes with, when you're getting older. But
right,
man, RuneScape and Diablo 2 is something I always played, but I always played Call of Duties. Like, playing the Call of Duties every single year, going to GameStop every single year,
mm-hmm.
Making sure I could play the new COD as soon as it comes out, right?
Right.
Waiting in the GameStop lines every single year was like hands down like probably the best thing ever.
Now you don't have that anymore.
Right. You don't, because everybody can pre-download it.
Yeah. Yeah.
It was the best. Waking up the next morning pretending you're sick. Because my parents, they made sure I was at school the next day.
The next day, yeah.
But I always wanted to, or try to convince them to let me, skip the next day for Call of Duty, but they were never at it. So just played all the Call of Duties, played a bunch of Halos, just nothing crazy competitive. Did like maybe a little like competitive Call of Duty and like Call of Duty Ghost and stuff like that. That's when I first started getting into search and destroy tournaments. And then Black Ops 3, when that game come out, I played a lot of S&D wagers, S&D tournaments, and that's when I first streamed. And not a lot of people streamed at that time. And so I was like one of the few streamers, or one of the most consistent streamers in S&D. So that's when I really started doing really, really well. I guess not really well, because Twitch still wasn't, or Call of Duty still wasn't as watched as, a bunch of other games. But that's when, Nickmercs he was streaming. He had like 1,000 viewers. That was like his max, like most nights.
Yeah.
And just playing S&D tournaments. That's where I started streaming. And I was told myself, like, if I'm gaming, I might as well just stream it. There's no like negative side effects to it. If other people want to come and watch, then that's perfect. That's more pluses than anything. So I didn't really lose anything. I got a fairly good mindset about it. So that's where I started, was Black Ops 3. Just continue to play that. I think I played the next COD, which was IW. Didn't really play much of that. I wasn't a big fan of that Call of Duty. Played a little H1Z1, went back and forth. I think I took like a little break of streaming, and then the whole Fortnite thing. I went full time in Fortnite. I had like 600 subs, I think, on Twitch.
Okay.
At the time when the whole Fortnite craze happened.
Yeah.
And so I was full time then. Didn't really work out. I was doing the Fortnite and then Apex Legends, back to Fortnite, and then a game called Battalion 1944. Streaming full time all the way through these games. And I'm like, dude, like this isn't fun anymore. I was like forcing myself to like stream every day. I just didn't enjoy it. And that's when I started working again, was back in November.
Okay.
Of this year. Yeah, I started working again in November this year. And I was like, well, I'm going to stream just part-time. I'm just going to try and enjoy it again, not force myself. If I want to play, I'm going to stream. I'm going to have some fun with it, not play games that are going to bring me the numbers.
Yeah.
Whatever it may be. And then I would just go to, work whenever. And so I was doing that. I needed some consistent money, because I was trying to think of my future,
Exactly.
Do I want to get married? I want to, buy a house, or whatever it may be.
Right.
And then, the whole COVID stuff happened. And I'm like, well, we're all screwed, so I might as well just make the most of it.
Might as well get back.
Yeah. And then Warzone came out, and I just started grinding that, the leaderboards, the kills, high kill games, and then just did whatever I could, networking, playing with streamers, playing with other YouTubers, playing in every tournament I can, with whoever I can, and it all just happened after that.
Yeah. When did you so you started first streaming? You said way back, like when the Call of Duties were coming out. Is that when you started streaming for like the very first time?
Yeah, Black Ops 3 was when I first started streaming.
Okay. And then when did you get to the break? Was it like had you streamed for a couple of years and then like you're saying last November you kind of just decided to take the break? Or I guess like what was going on then that caused the break? You were just burnt out like you were saying?
Yeah, I think I was burnt out because during Fortnite I just completely grinded Fortnite. I was actually pretty good at Fortnite. I think I was doing like the World Cup qualifiers.
Mm-hmm.
Never caught that Fortnite traction that I wish I had. I wish I had.
Yeah.
Then I went to Apex Legends, was doing pretty well with that. Then the game started going downhill at the time, and then I went back to Fortnite. So I think my problem was like I kept switching between games.
Yeah.
And the more I kept switching games, then it's like I got to rebuild, from the beginning again, from the lower view count up to higher view count.
Right.
And that definitely didn't help at all. And so I was like, I'm not having fun. I was like forcing myself to stream, forcing myself to be on a schedule. And I was like, dude, I just need a break.
Yeah.
I just need to do something else with my time. I need to get out of my room. I need to get out of my apartment, and also just more stable checks, I guess, because
yeah,
I was working at a restaurant, so it was like it's really good money just cash wise. So
right. No, I think that's interesting because I think you're one of the few streamers I've talked to that like started full time, was doing it for a while, then took a break, and then made the leap of faith to like come back to it. So I think that's pretty unique that you at least realized that you were burning out a little bit, and you're like, all right, like I need to at least step away for a little bit and then maybe come back to it. So that's pretty interesting.
Yep. I think like one of the biggest things was like when I was doing that full time, like Fortnite, I turned my stream on, I played for like 8 to 10, 12 hours, whatever it was, and I got off. And that's what I did every single day. I didn't do a lot of community stuff like sub games or sub tournaments or, I didn't do all the extra stuff, reaching out to other streamers or content creators. I kind of just, anybody can turn the stream on, play video game, and turn it off. But like,
right,
that doesn't separate you from other people. So like, what was I doing with that time? And then now, like when I went to full time again, when the COVID stuff happened, I'm like, okay, I'm gonna take advantage of this situation. What can I learn from my mistakes? Is from last time, right?
Right.
So I've been playing with a lot of streamers, grinding the leaderboards, just trying to get involved in other communities, doing all the extra stuff, within the stream, really, and through COD. So.
And it's obviously made a difference.
Yeah, it's definitely paid off so far. Yeah.
Yeah. Talk to me a little bit about, because I'll be completely honest, I didn't watch much of when you were in the Fortnite craze. I was a huge fan of that when all that was going on. I messed around in the qualifiers for fun, but I wasn't any good, full disclosure, but I at least played around in them. But with Fortnite, were you trying to go, like, were you in competitive? Like, as far as like your qualifiers, you talk a little bit about what was happening over the course of Fortnite, because I feel like that'd be interesting to hear about.
So Fortnite, I spent a lot of time like just playing pubs. I did go, I had a lot of wins, I had a lot of kills, but I never I didn't put all the extra work when it came into like the private matches or customs or whatever.
Yeah.
Until it was like 2-8. So like everybody was just so much better like mechanically to where I just felt like I was so far behind. But I tried my best to play in like those Fortnite qualifiers. They had like, whatever, 10 weeks, 12 weeks, whatever it was.
Yeah.
I made like, couple $1,000 over the course of like those weeks, but it was nothing too insane. I was told myself like, a few more mistakes, a couple extra kills, like, man, I can really do this. But I knew in the back of my head, like, dude, there's thousands and thousands, hundreds of thousands probably of people trying to compete in these tournaments. And I mean, when it comes down to like, the ping, if you have a really crappy, if you're not pinging to servers well, like that's a huge disadvantage, especially in Fortnite.
Yeah.
But I think it all came down to just that extra work in terms of practicing with your teammate a lot more. That I did some scrims here and there, but I didn't really put any extra work into the private, the private games, working on my builds and all that extra stuff.
Yeah. No, I mean, I remember ping, especially for those last few circles, like in the qualifiers, if you didn't have good internet connection, it was like laggy as could be, like not a good time.
Everybody in like the Pennsylvania area or like there's certain like ping spots that just had like the best ping. And me in Minnesota, I mean, I either pinged it, on East servers, I get like 50, and then on the West servers, I get like 80, 90. So it's like, well, I'm at like a big disadvantage here. Like, I need to move to the east somewhere, I think.
Right. So was the goal while you were going through Fortnite, were you, I know you're obviously playing in the qualifiers like you were just talking about, were you trying to, like, if you hit the Fortnite World Cup, was the goal to like hit it, qualify, go to New York, and then, regardless of the outcome, like you wanted to go continue as a Fortnite pro, or was it just something you were doing like as part of your content at the time?
Yeah, I think, well, yeah, at the time, I feel like I wasn't even really a content creator. I just turned my stream on and I just played and I just try to play in these tournaments. And
Yeah.
because I wasn't producing any other content at the time. That's
Okay.
something I've been really bad at, like over the course of the years, and I still am now, is just being consistent on all the other platforms.
Right.
But I'm trying to get better at it. People are trying to help me. They want to help me. And so like I'm moving in the right direction slowly, but I just wasn't ever doing anything else. I was just turning my stream on and playing, and then, wherever it may be. I wanted to just, I think in the back of my head, I was like, okay, if I do well in these tournaments, more people are going to be in my stream. I think that's kind of the mindset I had, I think.
Yeah, which was a valid mindset, because I mean, I feel like during that time, all the people that were trying to be competitive in it, everyone was like, if I just score really high in these leaderboards, like people are going to see my name, and then, they'll come to my stream, and, it's a valid reason to think of how you could blow up and grow.
Yep, exactly.
Okay, that's cool. And so that went through, Fortnite World Cup ended, and after Fortnite World Cup, did you keep playing Fortnite for those couple of months, or is that when you started switching in between games and started mixing up the stream a little bit?
Yeah, I played a little Apex Legends. For like when that first came out, especially, I was doing really, really well in terms of like kill wise, or I was like, the Bangalore character, I was like ranked like top like 10, I think, in kills, and then top 100 overall over everybody the first couple months.
Yeah.
But then I think I just got burnt out of that. I have a really bad habit of just completely like throwing everything to the side and just completely grinding something when it comes out. And so I think I just got completely burned out. Stopped playing that. Then I played a different PC game called Battalion 1944.
Mm-hmm.
It's a game on Steam. And so I did a little competitive through that. Went to a little tournament in Philadelphia called Fragadelphia.
Okay.
But that whole community, like, there wasn't very many players. There's like a couple hundred players on the game. So that whole community kind of just went to different games after the game kind of died. So
So you were like, your mindset for the most part, I know now you're saying you're doing more content, but you originally got into it and you liked being on the competitive side of things. Like and you just turn on the stream.
Yep. So
I got you.
That was, it wasn't a very good mindset. I was like, well, the better I do, the more people are going to come watch me. Like, I think I have the personality to be a good streamer, but I wasn't pushing out content in all the other platforms. But now that I do that, now I can see like, well, you can be super competitive, but you can also be entertaining if you have a personality, and you can just start, going to all the other platforms and start to bring more people into your stream and stuff like that.
Yeah. And so were you grinding YouTube at the time, like back in 2019, or did you like restart a YouTube grind when you got back into it full time this year?
Basically when Warzone started, I had like a couple editors that will help me upload like 2-3 times a week. I was even just getting to a point like, any content is like good content on YouTube. Yeah. Like I was just uploading like high kill gameplays. That's just what I was just trying to do. I didn't have any thumbnails. I was just uploading them, and they actually weren't doing that bad, because I mean, at that time, especially when the Warzone first came out, not everybody was dropping 20, 30 kills, 20, 30 kills. But now over the time, like, more people are getting better. There's, weapons in the game that people can easily use to get higher kills.
Yeah.
But I mean, I was talking to Legion and Basically I Do Work, if you know who those YouTubers are.
Mm-hmm.
And they were saying like, dude, like, your content is way different than ours, because not everybody can go for high kill games. Not everybody can get high kill games. And so you just put them out there, and, more people are going to want to watch that than, a cut up like funny version or something, or maybe not more, but you're finding a different audience that not everybody can actually reach in terms of the high kill games. So.
No, that makes it. That's funny with the thumbnails, because I'm trying to think. I remember back when Modern Warfare 2 came out, I was so young I don't even really remember. But I remember I used to watch nuke videos all the time. I don't remember if there was thumbnails back then or not, but it was just, for me, it was just fun to watch the kill race get up to 25, see the person do it, and all that. So I could totally understand how, I mean, I feel like as long as you drop in the high kill games, like, people still want to see that. Like,
Right.
You know?
And that's like the like I just uploaded the raw gameplay right from my Twitch. So like I clipped it did a highlight from my Twitch. I hit upload and then just boom, titled it, had a good description, and I just made it public. You know? And that's when I was most consistent on it. But now I wait for little edits, different intro. I gotta wait for a thumbnail, and then the more I wait, I just feel like I just forget about it.
Right.
So it's always more fresh in my head.
Yeah, no, for sure. When you came back to make the return, I know we've kind of like talked how well everything's gone, but like when you first started back, were you, because how long was the break between streaming, like when you ended and when you started? Like, had it been a good 4 or 5 months before you had even like turned the stream on?
Yeah, so it was like November. So like November, I started working again. So November, December, January, February. Yeah, so it was like 4, 5, 6 months, whatever it was.
Yeah.
And so, I mean, I still streamed like occasionally. So I went from like 275 to 300 hours a month to like way less than 200, probably 150, 175. So I was still streaming, because my server job was, it's part-time.
Right.
I just worked evenings. So I try to stream whenever I could.
Yeah.
But I mean, it wasn't even close to how many hours I'm doing now when I was doing full-time. So.
Right. So for you to get back into it wasn't like a complete 0 to 100. You had kind of still been like playing with it a little bit.
Yep. So it's just I still had a little tiny community. I still had like 10, 15, 20, 30 max viewers at the time. And so I know a lot of those guys were in there, watching me play from, whatever games over the years. So
yeah. And so it was Warzone. Is that like, I know you said kind of the COVID impact, but was it the fact that Warzone dropped and you just saw that it was kind of be something that aligned with like your interests and the kind of games you like, and you're like, all right, like let's go back for this?
Yeah. So I played at the beginning of Modern Warfare came out. I played S&D tournaments, but that lasted like a month maybe, and I just didn't really enjoy it that much. That's when I was just playing part-time.
Yeah.
And then I always loved battle royales. I think I was always pretty good at battle royales. In terms of like Apex, Fortnite, whatever it may be. And I really like playing Call of Duties. And this Call of Duty was fun. I like the armor system. It's very, very simple.
Yeah.
I like the loadout system. I liked pretty much everything about it just because there's a lot less RNG, especially because of the loadout system and the buy stations. And, if you die once, you're not out. Your teammates can buy you back. And I think that keeps people playing. And so I was just addicted, man. I was so addicted. And then as soon as I started competing really well, people started, more people coming to my stream. And as soon as that happens, once you start seeing growth and a little success, you're just really, really addicted to it. And you just keep on going and keep on going.
Right, right. Have you, and I probably should look this up before we got on to the podcast, but do you have any of the kill records right now for like duos, trios, or solos or anything like that on Warzone?
I had the trios one until like probably about a month ago.
Okay.
So we had 102 kills in a trios game.
Okay.
It's me, Pieman, and Metaphor.
Dang, 102, and you guys were what, in a 150 lobby?
Yep, 150
That's
lobby
wild.
until about a month ago, I'd say.
Okay. And so for you right now, so to kind of get back to the competitive side of it, so you obviously did really well you've done really well in some of the other MFAM tournaments, I think too, maybe the ones that you didn't win, but you still placed high. And then you played, was it the Toronto Ultra tournament? You placed really well in that one as well, right?
We got second place. It was me, Raiden, and Super Evan, and we lost to Nickmercs, Swag, and Biffle.
Okay.
And in finals, we lost. In the first game, I think they had like 94 kills or 91 kills, and we had like 94. So it was like, that's a lot of kills for both squads to get. That's like a really good game. And then our second game, so it's best of 2 games. Our second game, they had a jailbreak and we didn't get a jailbreak. And so that brings, if people don't know, that just brings everybody that's spectating, that's dead, they can come back into the lobby. So that's however many extra kills that they can get. And so we started our game after them, and our game ended like 5 minutes before theirs. And so we lost. We ended up losing by 7 kills in that tournament. Oh, I wish we would have won that. That'd have been so awesome.
Because that was $100,000 tournament, wasn't it?
Yeah, that was a $100K tournament. I think that was like $17,000 each or something like that. It was $50K for first, and then $30K for second.
Dang.
So.
Do you so obviously you've got to play like a lot of the big tournaments. For you, is it just pure excitement and joy, or like do you get nervous playing in them, or kind of what's your vibe, or do you have like a routine going into tournament day? If you got like a 100K tournament coming up, or do you just say whatever, I'm gonna hop on and I'm gonna play?
Yeah, so well, the first two MFAM tournaments, I ended up going to Quick Trip. It's a little like gas. I went to the gas station.
Mm-hmm.
I got a cherry vanilla Coke,
Okay.
and I had Chipotle for lunch.
There you go.
And we won both this tournament. So I try to do that for like every tournament. It sounds kind of corny. I never really believed in that, but I'm like, what could it hurt? And
Right.
Also an excuse to get Chipotle too. So I'm like, yeah, screw it. Let's get some Chipotle today. Maybe I'll go get a soda, whatever it may be. But I don't know, man. I really don't get that nervous. Not until like, finals time, if I'm in a clutch situation or whatever. Maybe I was shaking a little bit. I can feel it like in my chest, but I don't really get that nervous. I think, over streaming over a period of time and has definitely helped me, overcome that.
Yeah. No, I mean,
nervousness.
I feel like you're either really excited or you're kind of just, you've gotten used to it, and you're obviously still competing, and it's for a lot, but I feel like it's always interesting to kind of hear like how you guys are from your side and your point of view, like what your guys' mindset is when you're in those moments and, competing for a lot of money. So
yeah, I definitely get excited and I get in the zone. Like I'm nothing but call outs and I'm just focused.
Yeah. What's your random question? What's your go-to Chipotle order?
Oh, dude, I get crucified by everybody for my food takes.
Oh boy.
Absolutely. It's bad. Okay. Because I'm a very picky eater.
Yep.
And man, people are gonna hate me. Okay, I get chicken, sometimes double chicken.
Uh-huh.
If it's a bowl, normally I get a bowl and then white rice or double white rice and then corn.
Okay.
And then light lettuce. And that's it.
That's it. Listen, I get the chicken, I get the black beans, brown rice, I get the corn. I feel like the corn's underrated. A lot of people I feel like don't get the corn, but I think it's good.
The corn.
Yeah.
I love the corn.
And then I think I get sour cream and cheese. So, I mean, I don't know.
Yeah, I don't get sour cream. Like, bro, a lot of people get sour cream in theirs, but like I see so many pictures, like it looks like you're eating soup with that sour cream.
They put a lot.
I'm not a big cheese guy in terms of like, I mean, I like pizza, whatever, but I'm not a huge cheese guy.
Yeah.
Especially the Chipotle cheese.
I have to tell them to chill a little bit with the sour cream sometimes, because they'll just like throw a whole lump on there, and I'm like, this is too much.
They got a bucket, dude. They're just throwing right in there.
Yeah, I was like, this is way too much. Okay, nice.
Drinking that.
Yeah, no, for real. Okay, so anyway, sorry, I was just interested. It's always fun to hear people's tastes. But with Warzone, obviously, like Fortnite came about, and Battle Royale, all that good stuff, and it was kind of fun, and then took its competitive route. Do you see, obviously I don't think Warzone's as playful as Fortnite was, but do you kind of see it starting to take that route to where that true competitive like tournaments are going to be there, and it's going to be like leagues and stuff? Like, is that where you see it going, or do you think it's going to take a different track? What's your take on that?
To be honest, it probably eventually will. If Call of Duty doesn't, there's going to be like third party tourney organizers or third party like Discords that will host scrims and all that. But man, I don't want it to, because so the private match customs that just came out like last week or 2 weeks ago.
Yep.
Like, it's amazing for content in like community things. So like, sub games or cool like content. Like, just think of like the cool thumbnails people can make now. Like, like those Fortnite montages where like the characters like running, you have like a cool like underground shot, like looking at the guy, like thumbnails and like montages and stuff will be really, really cool. But I just don't think the map is is good for competitive at all. And I just don't. The difference between Call of Duty and games like PUBG and Apex Legends and Fortnite is like it's very, how do I say this? It's very noob friendly, right? So like it's very easy to be good at Call of Duty because the guns, there's no bullet drop, there's no recoil barely.
Right.
And I just think, like if you look at PUBG, there's different drops, different bullet speeds, different, everything is different on every single gun. And I just don't think Call of Duty is gonna be good, I guess, in terms of competitive private matches, because for one, entertainment wise, everybody likes watching the kill races, and nobody wants to watch, or I guess a lot of people don't want to watch people loot for 15 minutes, you know, hopefully get a lucky circle. If they get a lucky circle, then they're gonna, you know, be there for a few more minutes, and then it's just kind of a crap show at the end where, you know, a lot of shit just, you don't know what's gonna happen. You know, you get a lucky circle, then you win. And so I don't know. It's probably gonna happen. Am I gonna be a big fan of it? Probably not. I'd be interested in trying a game with 150 pros. You know, playing for the win. You know, playing for a prize. But I don't think it's gonna go very well.
Gotcha. So you'd rather kind of stay in its natural state right now, where like you've got the third-party tournaments going on with like the kill races and all that, but it's not like it's super organized and there's like an official league or anything like that.
Yeah, I think, because it's definitely, maybe I'm biased because I'm a streamer as well. Yeah. And it's a lot more entertaining. So it's probably a lot more entertaining than playing in these private matches and like a pro match.
Right. But
it's probably not as entertaining to watch.
Right.
Now, in terms of kill races, it's fun to watch and it's fun to play. And it's very exhilarating to play too. Yeah. It can definitely be very close, very stressful. You know, the whole works for the player and for people watching.
Yeah. No, and I remember with Fortnite, but I think before Fortnite started rolling out like the small competitive stuff, before it even like blew up into the big thing that it became, I remember that the kill races on Fortnite were so popular and like that's what everybody liked. And I feel like right now Warzone is at that phase where like, I mean, all we have is really the kill races and everybody tunes in to watch them because it's their favorite streamer. It's exciting. Like there's the luck of the draw with the circle, like you're saying. You don't really know what's going to happen. Like, so. Yeah.
And I mean, I might be wrong when it comes to like those competitive matches, but I mean, that's kind of like my take on it. I just think the competitive or the private match is just it's just going to make things a lot more sweaty, I guess, when it comes to like matches and stuff like that.
Right.
It just, I don't know, everybody's going to want to be a pro, and then it just, it's tough, like enjoying like some pubs. Like say if I'm playing like Sub Sunday, or I'm just trying to enjoy like a stream and I'm casually playing, you know, the skill-based matchmaking starts kicking in, or it's tough sometimes when everybody, you know, is going for that prize, you know, or everybody wants to get better. Everybody's taking it 100% serious. And I know some people are going to probably argue that. I'm like, well, then why are you playing? Like, are you playing to win? You know, whatever. But it's like when Fortnite announced like the World Cup stuff, like you could barely play any public matches without people building, you know, the Eiffel Tower above you, you know?
No, I think that was what a lot of content creators were complaining about with Fortnite was once it became like so purely competitive, it's like you really couldn't even, like if you were a casual streamer, I felt like you struggled to just get on and just be chilling while playing, talking with your chat and just have a good time with friends, because you had to be like in try hard mode every single second because you never knew who was about to pull up on you. Like,
exactly. I mean, we love winning. Yeah, we love competing, but you know, we also want to do a little entertaining stuff. We want to try different guns. We want to, you know, try and do YouTube videos with whatever attachments, random attachments.
Yeah.
But you can't do that if every single person is going to try and be the best the best player. You know, they're practicing for whatever it may be.
Yeah.
In terms of competitive wise.
So it's a pretty good for you when you're playing, since you're like on there all day for the most part right now. Is it like at a good mix where you don't have that yet, to where like you can kind of, if you want to get on, you can be competitive, but then if you also want to just get on and create some general content or some funny stuff, like you're still enjoying that side of it?
Yeah, for the most part. I mean, there's definitely some days where it feels like, holy crap, man! Like I am running into the best of the best players every single fight. It felt like, but maybe that's just a bad day. Maybe that's just the way it is. But I mean, I've been playing Warzone still the last few days, and I think all the good players, or most of like the sweaty players, are on Cold War. So I'm having a blast playing Warzone right now. So
right. Have you tried out the custom games with like your community and stuff yet, or no?
Yes. So it's actually helped. It's actually helped my stream out a bunch too. Like a lot more new people have been coming to the stream because if I put in my title, you know, posting private games, it's definitely fun. It can be annoying when people don't follow the rules, because we were doing like some like, you know, no shotgun, you know, no fire shotguns or no shotgun rules, you know. And then we've had a few cheaters in our private custom games.
That's like one of the biggest issues. Like legit cheaters.
like legit toggling. This guy's
Oh my
using a
God.
sniper and just toggling people downtown in a private custom games.
That's like the point that you're hoping with the private game.
Right. That's literally why I'm hosting the private games, because I mean there's still a massive cheater problem right now in Warzone, but
right.
the private matches are fun. It definitely gets everybody involved, and that's like one of the best things I think in terms of, you know, doing a community or streaming is, you know, you want to get as many people involved like on certain days,
right?
Or, you know, you want to play with different people or new people, and it is fun. I really like it, actually.
Yeah, and that's, you were saying like at the beginning, that's one of the things you've implemented this year when you came back. Was that something you weren't really doing that much you know, in the past, and then this year that's something you've kind of like bought into more, is like the community events and the teaming up with other streamers and stuff like that?
So like every Sunday I do games of subs. Like today I did sub games. So we do it's a marble race.
Okay.
It's called Marbles on Stream.
Yeah.
So you know, if people don't know, or if you don't know, or if people want to play, they type in like exclamation point play. Their name gets thrown on a marble. It goes down a random course. It's all RNG and it's all luck. And the top 3 subs that finish get to play quads with me for about an hour or 2 games. And then after those 2 games, we just do the next group. You know, we do another marble race, and then we do the next group. And so I think it's a very, very important thing when trying to grow a stream and trying to grow a community, is doing, you know, the extra stuff, making sure you have time for the people that support you. You know, like you want to be friends with these people. You know, you want to grow that personal bond with those people. You know, they're not just viewers. You know, like these guys are basically paying your bills. You know, like at least show a little love. You know, try to put a little effort into it. So that's where I'm on that.
No, absolutely. It seems like everybody, we've had a couple streamers on in the past, and they've also talked about like their community days and kind of what they do, and people seem like that's like one of their favorite days is doing the community stuff, just because you guys get to like actually connect with, you know, like you're saying, your viewers and all that. So that's really cool.
Absolutely.
So for you, I know we've kind of talked like, you know, what if Warzone evolved kind of more competitively and kind of your take on all that, and your content creating side, but do you have, like, are you, on your mind, are you going for more kill records? Like, or what are, because I know you like the competitive side as well a little bit. Are you like, what are your competitive goals right now in Warzone? Do you have any, or are you just kind of like mellowed out for right now?
Well, right now there's not really a whole lot of tournaments. I just wanted to play in every single tournament possible. Like the more tournaments I play in, the more like opportunity. It's like right now, I think like in my career or right now in my streaming stuff, like I want to take advantage of every opportunity, you know, that comes with every podcast. You know, if you want to do podcasts, sure, I'll do a podcast. Absolutely. Why not? You know, that's definitely going to, you know, push my name out there. You know, it's, you know, it's fun. You meet new people, you know, you do things like that. And that's what it comes down to, tournaments, right? So like any tournament I get invited to, or any tournament that there is, I just want to play in it. Of course I want to win, but it's more so just, you know, if you're an underdog and you win, then that's even better. Right. So like that goes back to like the MFAM tournaments. If you're an underdog and you win, oh man, it's the greatest feeling ever. And so a lot of these tournaments have like an invite only captains. And then if the captain picks their people, you know, a lot of the times I'm not a captain. So I just, you know, if someone invites me, of course I'm going to play, you know, no matter if they're good or not, you know, no matter what their skill level is. Hell yeah, man. I'm going to play those, you know?
Right.
And so right now there isn't a whole lot of tournaments going on just because everybody's on Cold War, but it's tough to say. Right now the game's just mellowed out. I think everybody's just waiting until like the whole Cold War integration on like December 10th, I think they said.
Okay.
I think. But right now it's kind of just chill time, I think, in terms of Warzone.
I feel like usually around the holidays too, like those holiday tournaments start to pop up and things get interesting.
Absolutely.
Cool. Well, I know there are some people watching. If you guys, I'm gonna go a couple more minutes, like asking Frozone just some stuff that I want to ask him. But if you guys have any questions for him, and you want us to pull from chat and ask your question, you know, feel free to drop a question there in chat, and we'll answer it here in the next few minutes. I was gonna ask you, so would you, and this is kind of like my last Warzone comp question, but so you're a creator right now, would you like to be like on a team or play for a team or represent an org? Or because I think it'd be interesting to hear about like being quote unquote a free agent and being represented by an org, and I'm not talking about just anyone specifically, just in general. Do you enjoy like the solo freelancing more? Is being in org something that interests you, or kind of what's your take on that, if that makes sense?
Actually, I would love to be part of an organization.
Okay.
In terms of like, since I stream Call of Duty and I play, Warzone, I think if I can somehow get onto a CDL org as like either a content streamer, well, I think with Warzone it comes with both, right? So you're a competitor and you're a content creator.
Mm-hmm.
And I think if you're both, then it works out even better, right? So you can do really well in these tournaments, but also you're a personality, right? Like you can still stream if you have that personality. I think your stream's gonna last a lot longer or do a lot better. The longevity of the stream or your career is there, right? So I would love to be part of an organization just because, one, it's the part of the Call of Duty community, and two, it definitely surrounds you with more people that are like-minded in terms of goals and the direction they want to go, and they want to help you grow and you want to help them grow, both sides, and a lot of professionalism kind of too, right? I want to learn the ins. I'd love to learn some more things about the business side of things in esports, right? I would love to meet more people, and I think joining teams, joining organizations definitely comes with that.
Yeah, I feel like it gives you like that structure that you're talking about, more so from the business side that you can kind of learn from, and you're still doing what you love, but like you're also getting all this information from the other side of it.
Exactly.
That actually, so that's a good flow through into one of the last questions I had for you, was just with like how gaming continues to grow, and obviously like we've seen very much the last few years that it just continues to become more mainstream. Like we got athletes, we got a lot of you guys are growing and really starting to make names for yourselves to people that aren't traditionally from gaming. How are you developing into like where, I guess, I don't know, do you feel like you have to have a little bit more professionalism with like sponsors and like people wanting to work with you, or how have you like grown in that area, if that makes sense, where you have that professionalism?
Yeah, that's a really good question, because on like normally when I'm on stream I try not to change so like I get mad at Call of Duty a lot, right? Everybody does, but like if I want to be on like a CDL team in terms of content or whatever it may be, like if I'm bashing the game, like that's not a good look, right? That's not. I mean, it happens too much, right? I get mad, everybody gets mad, but in terms of like, but it is in the back of my head. I'm like, hey, you should probably watch what you say, there might be people listening. And that kind of goes for everything else. I think I've always been fairly decent in terms of like professionalism, but I do tend to watch recently, especially, I do tend to watch, what I say on Twitter. Trying to be careful. I've been trying to cuss less on Twitter, because that's a bad habit I have on stream. Is I just f-bomb this, f-bomb that. But the professionalism definitely is something. It's a work in progress, but I have been doing a lot more recently. Tried to, I guess.
Yeah, no, it makes sense. I feel like I get what you're saying, to where you don't want to get out of character, to like where you're not being yourself, but then at the same time you're like thinking there are opportunities that, like, I don't know, what if I say something and then that person doesn't like it, or that company doesn't like it. Right. So
and there's I have some really bad sports takes, and like I kind of just say stuff to just trigger people in my chat. Like I'll just tell everybody like Dante Culver is the greatest quarterback of all time. Like I'll just say like the most random stuff. I'll just like start bashing like basketball or something, just because I never grew up with like I never played basketball. Like I could care less about basketball. So I always I always just bash basketball just to see if I can trigger a few people. But like I shouldn't do that, because I've had the opportunity to play with a lot of like NFL people, or I may never know who I may come across by to play video games with, right? And so or I may meet, and so I hope that nobody I've been recently trying to watch what I say, because I've been saying it too. I don't want people to take me serious, because then that may ruin like a potential friendship, or whatever it may be, with an athlete or anybody really.
Someone clips it out of context and the athlete sees it, and then they never get the full picture. So.
Like when I say like basketball like takes no skill, like everybody just starts losing their marbles, dude. And then like, guys, I'm just kidding. Like I could care less about basketball. I don't know anything about basketball. Like, but it'll be all right, I promise.
That's funny. Who are like, I mean, I'm sure it's cool to play with all of them, but what have been like some of your favorite pro athletes you've played with, or who are some of the pro athletes that you've played with like so far? And has it been Warzone that you play with them?
Yeah, so it's been Warzone. So I've played with. There's a group I played with. It was Jamal Charles.
Okay.
So he was, I think, a running back for Kansas City Chiefs, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Brian Arakpo, he played for the Tennessee Titans, I think. And then Marco Mitchell. So, like, they have their own little group. So a couple Sundays, I've played quads with them. So a lot of people know who Jamal Charles is,
Mm-hmm.
you know. And what's crazy is I've played a lot of Warzone with Golden Tate.
Okay.
Golden Tate, he actually, there's some days where I open up Discord and he's just hanging out in Discord with other people from the stream, which is just awesome to see.
That's crazy.
He's always like, he's sending messages to play Warzone, like, it's like we're buddies, which is kind of weird to think about. But
yeah.
Golden Tate, like Blake Martinez, he's also in the New York Giants with Tate.
Okay.
Yeah, so a lot of those football guys, they're fun to play with.
Yeah. It's crazy like how much, and it really seems like, especially since COVID hit. I mean, I know there was stuff going on like the last few years, but I feel like since COVID hit, because you had so many pro players who obviously were like out of season or kind of on a hiatus until this thing started, that you've seen so much collaboration between content creators and pro players. I mean, do you have, I know you mentioned like a lot of NFL players, do you have like a favorite traditional sport? Like, is football, like, you a big NFL fan or?
Not really. Dude, like, growing up in high school, like, I watched like all the sports, but I was never really a diehard fan of like any sports team, like any baseball team or whatever it was. I was a wrestler in high school, and so like there's no professional wrestling really, other than like the WWE, whatever you want to call that. But I was never really just a diehard fan of anything. I kind of just enjoyed baseball because my dad always had baseball on, and we watched the Vikings play in Minnesota. Like, that's just how it was. Never really a diehard fan.
Got you. No, that's cool. Yeah, I know the WWE's like, I think they're having like their own issues and stuff with WWE players streaming on Twitch and all that. I don't know much about it, but I've seen a little bit on that.
I've seen that.
But no, I think it's just cool how it's evolved this year, where you've got like pro players that, are want to play with you guys, and that's super. I haven't heard that before, where you have one just chilling in Discord, like, not because you guys set it up or not because it was like a promotion, like just genuinely hanging out in there.
Yeah, he's like part of the community, which is awesome. Yeah. So like there'll be times where like I look in Discord, he's like, he's in there playing with like a few other people that he's met in the stream. Like,
that's cool.
It's awesome. It's awesome.
Pretty dope. I believe Justin's in the chat, esports biz.
Oh boy.
What's up, Justin? And if you guys, we'll stay on here like another couple minutes. If you guys have any questions you want to ask him, drop those in there real quick, and we'll answer them before we get off here. But I know we're almost running up on an hour. What else, man? I mean, what's next? I guess, what are some of your next goals like coming up? I know we've talked a little bit about like the competitive side. Just for you, like as a streamer, do you have any like things that you're trying to grow on going into 2021, and now that you're kind of full back into it, full blown and in it full time?
Yeah, so something that I'm working on or trying to is like, I am the worst. Like, I can produce like pretty good content like in my stream. Like, I'll have some high kill games, I'll do some like cool stuff, but I'm very inconsistent in posting that across my social medias. And so I decided like, well, like I'm just gonna pay someone to literally do it. Like, I'm gonna just pay like this like marketing agency to do it.
Yeah.
So they'll do like a unlimited. They have like unlimited YouTube editing. They'll post on my stories. They'll post these clips on the other social media. It's like, just I'll let the pros do that, and I'll just keep on doing. I'll stick to my stream, and I'll keep doing me. Just do it. Like, I just need to be consistent. That's the one thing that I need to work on, is just the big consistency, especially on YouTube, and posting clips every single day, across all social medias.
Is it a thing of like you wanting to post it and you want to be in control of it and trusting someone else to do it for you, or is it something just completely different?
Nah, I mean, like honestly, like, I'm down for people posting it for me. I think it just gets, like, I just feel like, if I play Warzone and I don't get over 25 kills, I think it's like a mental block. I'm like, dude, I just don't think that game's good enough for people to watch. Like, I just don't think people want to watch it, or like, I don't think that clip's that good, right?
Yeah.
So it's probably better off that I just don't look at it and just let people take care of it for me. I know it may seem lazy, but like, I don't know. Maybe it's like a mental block. Maybe it's just, I think, maybe the attitude, like, never settle. I always want to get better. Like, I just don't think it's good enough, stuff like that. Like, it's good, but it's bad,
Yeah. No,
That's
I
where
get
I'm
it.
at on that.
From a completely different perspective, I mean, there are times where, like, I'll have, like, a podcast episode or something, and I'll get off, and I'll be like, man, I feel like I did horrible personally on that. Like, that wasn't good. Like, should I post this or not? Like, I feel like it's tough when you're on that content creation side of things just because you hold yourself to, like, a high standard and you want it to be, like, perfect, So.
Exactly.
But no, that's awesome. Well, dude, we'll start to just kind of wrap things up here. I appreciate you coming on. Like I said, I was really excited to kind of talk to you and dive into it. Thanks for sharing, like, your story and kind of some of your takes on COD and all that.
Absolutely.
As I'm sure a lot of people already know, but it's kind of tradition just to ask at the end of the show, what are some of your favorite social media platforms that people can connect and follow you on?
Well, I live stream every single day. I've been playing a lot more Warzone, but there'll be some Cold War probably on Twitch, which is just Frozone, and then my Twitter. My Twitter is just Frozone as well. So Frozone on both of those. Okay.
What times you have like a set time you usually go live during the day or no?
So with the Cold War, my sleep schedule's been a little messed up. But
Got you.
I've been trying to, I need to get back into like, the 8 a.m., 6, 7, 8 a.m. until, later evening or early evening. Depends on the day, but that's most of the time I'm on.
Okay. Cool. I'll read one last thing from chat. Justin said we both rock. So again, I know Justin kind of helped set this up.
Yes,
I wanted to give him one last quick shout out, but shout out to everyone else in general that if you guys were hanging here, I know we had some people kind of listening and tuning in. So appreciate you guys hearing from Frozone and all that. And if you guys are catching this later on the audio format, whether you're on Spotify, Apple, wherever you're listening from, Anchor, appreciate you guys tuning in, and we will catch you guys next week for another episode of the Lodgz Podcast.